Welcome back to our explainer on Suchni's story, The Red Bangle of the Bamboo Grove, Part 2. If you caught the first part of this wild mystery, you know exactly why we're heading back into the eerie shadows of that bamboo grove today. We've got so much to unpack as things get seriously dark, so let's skip the formalities and just jump right in. Return my bangle. Just imagine waking up in a cold sweat every single night to those exact words whispered by a woman in a red sari. We're picking up right in the thick of the psychological dread that is completely tearing our protagonist, Rahul, apart. Because, you see, this isn't just a bad dream anymore. It's a relentless demand. And then there's this. Twang, twang, twang. It's this haunting auditory cue echoing throughout the text. It's the unmistakable sound of a bangle, right? But here, it acts as this terrifying alarm. The second you hear that sound, you know she is close by. It instantly sets this brilliant, tension-filled atmosphere right out of the gate. Section 1. Rahul's Nightmare and the Red Mark. So, to really grasp how bad things have gotten for Rahul, we need to look at the physical and mental toll this is taking on him. A full month has passed since that first terrifying encounter, and get this. The red bangle mark on Rahul's hand absolutely refuses to fade. This is a crucial detail. It's undeniable physical evidence. It proves to Rahul, and frankly to the rest of the village, that he isn't just losing his mind. Whatever this supernatural force is, it has left a permanent physical stamp on reality. Which perfectly illustrates how much this haunting has escalated. It's gone from a weird lingering mark to intense psychological torment. The nightmare is recurring and inescapable. Every single time he tries to close his eyes and get some rest, she's right there, demanding what she lost. It is completely exhausting him. Section 2. The Bamboo Grove and the Mystery of Suchni. Now, to figure out what's happening to Rahul right now, we actually have to dig into the past. Let's pivot from his personal nightmare to the broader village lore and look at the history behind this haunting. Let's break down the testimony from the village elder Haripadakaka. He claims that years ago, a young bride went missing just days after her wedding. She was eventually found dead under some extremely suspicious circumstances. And what was she wearing? Red bangles, the traditional shankapola. This detail perfectly matches our victim's profile and gives us a really tragic origin story for the Suchni haunting the grove. But here's the thing, it's not just Rahul experiencing this anymore. The phenomenon is spreading like wildfire. Other villagers are actually starting to hear those same rhythmic bangle sounds near the grove, especially on the pitch-black night of the new moon. It's escalating so fast that Rahul is pushed to his absolute breaking point. He decides he has to find the truth, no matter how dangerous it gets. Section 3. Searching for truth on the new moon. This brings us right to the climax of the story's second act, where Rahul teams up with the village priest, and they walk straight into the pitch-black bamboo grove for a confrontation. Let's walk through exactly how this plays out. Right at midnight, they arrive in this dense, heavy fog. Minutes later, the wind suddenly just stops. Completely. It's a fantastic sensory detail in the text, this unnatural, dead calm dropping over the grove. And then, sure enough, the tulang tungang of the bangle starts up. Finally, the climax hits. The woman in the red sari steps right out of the fog. But when her face is finally visible, she doesn't look like a monster. The text actually points out she has this mysterious smile and eyes full of profound sadness. And then she speaks directly to Rahul. She says, "I don't want to kill anyone. I just want my final farewell." This is wild because this one line completely flips the entire narrative. We suddenly realize this is a tragic plea for peace. What felt like a straight-up horror story morphs into a heartbreaking tragedy about a lost soul who just can't move on. Section 4. The Secret Letter Beneath the Earth. Recognizing her pain, the priest immediately starts chanting mantras, which leads us to a massive discovery. It's honestly like we're paranormal investigators digging up a cold case crime scene here. What they unearth from the dirt is just fascinating. An old wooden box gets pulled from the ground, and inside are 3 massive clues that crack this whole thing wide open. There's a broken red bangle, which absolutely confirms her identity. There's her assorted bridal jewelry, and most importantly, an old hidden letter holding the real truth. Listen to what this letter actually says. "I was betrayed and killed. My last rites weren't done. My soul hasn't found peace." Wow, okay, so that changes literally everything. It confirms with absolute certainty that this is not just a standard haunting. We are dealing with a cold-blooded murder mystery that's been covered up for years. So, how do they fix it? Well, the very next morning, armed with the truth, the priest and the villagers perform the proper religious rites for the murdered bride. The air clears up, the whole village breathes this huge sigh of relief, thinking the tormented soul has finally found peace. It really feels like a safe, comforting end to a horrific tragedy. Section 5. Unfinished revenge and the final twist. But come on, you know this is a thriller, right? That comforting resolution, it's about to be completely shattered. Because that very same night, Rahul's mobile phone rings. It's an unknown number. He picks it up, and there's no human voice on the other end. Just the cold, metallic tung-tang of a bangle playing over the speaker. It is so unnerving to see how easily the supernatural just effortlessly hacks into our modern, supposedly safe technology. Then, this cold, unnatural voice drops a chilling final message through the phone. She says, "I am free, but the one who killed me is still alive." Just let that sink in. Yes, the religious rites freed her from purgatory, but they also completely unleashed her. In a split second, this story pivots from a ghost seeking rest into a full-blown revenge thriller. Rahul looks out his window, and we're left with this lingering, terrifying visual. The shadow of the woman in the red sari doesn't fade away into the light. Instead, she turns and disappears right back into the dark bamboo grove. She's not resting, she is on the hunt. Which leaves us with a massive question to close out this explainer. Who killed Sakarni? The murderer has literally been hiding in plain sight in this village for years. Who are they? And even more terrifying, now that she's loose and out for blood, who is going to be her next target? It's an absolutely brilliant cliffhanger, and I don't know about you, but I cannot wait to dive into the next part of the source material to find out.